on, guys? Welcome back to Holloway's Garage. Today, while we're waiting for parts for that C10, I got head gaskets coming and lifters, and we'll get that thing rolling once that comes. But while we're waiting, I'm gonna bring in one of my new projects, and we'll see if we can't get this thing running. It's a 1988 GMC Jimmy. It's a K5, same as the Chevy Blazers. And picked this thing up. It was sitting in the yard. I picked it up along with a bunch of other trucks. I got a handful of trucks from this yard. A lot of them are really rough. This Blazer is definitely the best out of the five. It's got it's fuel injected 350, 700 R4. She said it hadn't ran in probably 10 years or so. It's just been sitting. So this is what we're going to try to do, is get it running. I know it needs a new fuel tank because the fuel tank in there is it's all messed up. It stinks like old fuel. It's got all kinds of junk up in it. He cut a hole in the floorboard to get to it. So what we're going to do, we'll swap the fuel tank on it, put some fuel in there, and see if we need to put some other stuff into it. Probably do a quick oil change on it, turn it over, and then let's see if we can get the fire up. But follow along with me, and we'll get what we can get done and get this thing running and moving.
Oh boy, got another old junky Chevy in here. Just kidding, this one's not terrible. But while I wait for the parts for my my LO swap, I pulled this thing in here, and what we're gonna do is get it running. So it needs a few things. I'm gonna do an oil change. It smells like rancid old fuel in here, and the reason why it really smells in here is because I was looking around and the previous owner made himself a little hatch here. For the sending unit. So cut himself a little hatch here. And I don't know if you can see in there, but that is some terrible. That's terrible. So I'm gonna drop this tank. When I picked this thing up, there's another good tank sitting next to it with what looked to be a new fuel pump and sending unit assembly, everything. And I'm guessing he put it in there and just never got to doing this for whatever reason. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will, I'm not sure if I should. I probably should just weld all this back together while it's apart and go from there. But we'll put a battery in this. I want to get this window cranked down just so I can easily get to this stuff without having to work through the cab. Kind of sucks he did that because he cut the whole, well, I guess he didn't cut the carpet up, he just pulled it back. But I'm just gonna tack this back in. Looks like he had done it before or something. There's holes that maybe he welded a strap between it. But I'm thinking I'll probably just weld that back up because there's not really any reason to have a hole in there. You could just easily just pull the tank down. So we'll do that. The good thing is he already drained all the fuel out of it, so there's no fuel in the tank. So the bolts are all on the straps are all rusted. I'll probably just cut them and get some new straps for it. I never did one on one of these Blazers. I never pulled the tank on one, but I don't think it's much different. There's probably two straps underneath that skid plate or skid pan or whatever you want to call it, and it should be it. And then we'll change the oil, change the fluids, and just see if she'll start. She'll start, then I'll work on doing plugs, wires, cap, rotor, all that if I need to. But pretty excited about this, especially since it's going to be a short project. It seems like I got rockers coming. I'll weld new rockers in, and that's all she'll need really. There's a little rust in the back here, which I'm not gonna buy a panel. I think I'm gonna just grind. I'll grind that out and try to replace it, or I'm either gonna cut it out or just grind it out, try to replace it. There's no bubbles anywhere else, just in that one little area, and the rest of the body's all rust free basically. So has some surface rust and stuff on the frame, but this thing's gonna be a cool beach truck this summer, and get the kids in here, go on the beach. After I'll probably blast the whole frame and undercarriage and seal it and paint it all so it's nice and protected, and we'll go from there. But let's crank into the back of this thing. We'll pull the tank and we'll get all this figured out and hopefully running. Alright, so it's pretty simple. So there's a strap. There's a bolt there to pull the skid pan down, and then on the other side, I don't really see it from here, but we'll have to figure out where that bolt's to. I might have to pull the hitch receiver off to get to it, but that's not a big deal. I'd rather not, but because she's probably pretty rusty up there. But yeah, we'll pull this thing down and get it going. Alright, so got the so we got the easiest part done, is just getting those 2 bolts. The next easiest thing to do, this trim piece, you just unbolt it, and if you slide it into the bumper, you can access the bolts. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a bolt for the skid pan, there's another bolt for the skid pan, and then you got the nut and the bolt for the straps here. So you can easily access it here instead of pulling all this stuff off, which would have been a little bit more of a hassle, especially a lot of these bumper bolts. These things always rot, or they're always pretty dang seized. And then this thing's pretty rusty, so I'd imagine all the bolts are stuck in there too. So that's definitely the easiest way to go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna unbolt those now, and hopefully we can just drop this thing down. Alright, so there's 3 bolts for the skid pan. 1, got 2 in the center, and 3, the one on the left here. This one was a pain. The other 2 came out pretty easily. Then you have this wiring loom that sits over top of this stud here, and there's a bolt. There's a nut that's over it. There's also another nut down here. So what I did, it's not the right way, but this truck is a beater anyway. It's got dents and stuff. This dent here and this dent here is from me. It's a very slight dent. You wouldn't even be able to see it if you weren't paying attention. But basically what I did, I'll show you here. You set the socket. Oh, it's easier with 2 hands in there. So you set the socket in there. Get that on the nut, and you can kind of see here. You can't get straight down on an angle there. You got enough where I can pry this extension in there. This one might not happen because it's deeper. I might be able to fit this in here now. I couldn't fit this in here before. Yeah, still can't. if the stud wasn't so long, I wouldn't need a deep socket and it wouldn't be an issue really. But let me see if I can get this to work for you. Basically, I took it like this, then I'll beat this end with a hammer, and I'm able to get it to grab enough where I can get enough bite on it. We'll see. I'll see if I can get it this time around too. All right, so the other bolts on the strap, on the top of the strap, or the nuts on the top of the strap bolt here, they're 11/16. They're so dang tough to get in here to get. So what I did, I got a ratcheting box wrench on it, take a screwdriver, and I'm just slowly working it like this. And it's gonna take a little while, but it saves me, and both of them luckily were loose enough where I get, you know, they weren't seized or anything, but it saves me from taking the whole dang bumper off, which definitely, I didn't really feel like doing that. And this saves, I mean, it might take, it's not gonna take any longer. If anything, it'll save me some time doing it this way. It's just tedious. So we'll get both of the straps pulled off, and we'll just drop this whole tank and should be ready to go. All right, straps are free. Got the skid pan out, and I was able to get it finger loose, and I ended up just doing the same thing I did before with the socket and the impact, and I was able to bust them off, but I probably cross-threaded one of them on its way off, so we'll see. I might not end up working. I'm not sure why they would have put the strap, unless you can't, but I figure, why wouldn't you put the strap facing the other way so it's not as hard to get to? I mean, if it was over here, it'd be simple. So I'm gonna do that. There's no reason, I don't know why they would have done it the other way. So when I put it back together, I'll just flip it around. I'll put the bolt end where it's easily accessible instead of messing with it out back here. But we'll get this thing dropped down and get the new one in. Well, I gave it one good kick and it came down. You can see how nasty it was in there. It's bad. And he cut this panel through here. And it looks like he did it. He had to replace this multiple times, I guess. It's kind of bizarre, but I guess what I'll do, I might wire wheel this real quick, especially this stuff, and spray it, and that way at least it's somewhat sealed, because I mean, I'm never gonna get in there again, so we'll get that knocked out.
Well, got it all cleaned up. Looks half decent. And now we'll get ready. We'll get ready and put the whatchamacallit on there. We'll put the gas tank up in there. So it's semi-protected now. It's better than it was. So there you go. On our way to getting it started. Here's a new one, which I believe is new. I'm not 100% sure, but it was sitting on the ground next to this truck when I picked it up. So I'd imagine this is the new one, and it looks like this is the new sending unit because he didn't even tighten it on there yet. I'll just pull it actually, because it's got the cap still on it, and it's Spectra just like the box in the truck. So I mean, it's a new sending unit, but it's probably been sitting there for a couple of years at least. Let's be sure. Sure, I left the plastic on the float. Let's see what we got in here. I guess it's definitely a lot better than the other one. The only thing I see though is that's probably for a dang carbureted motor, because it doesn't have the bowl in it. Sucks. So I might need to go buy another gas tank. I'll prod around and see if this moves. So the fuel injected ones. Let's see if I can get this camera. This light so you can see. So you can kind of see the, I should just put this thing in there, where it's just super bright. Alright, see all that inside? There's like a little bowl in there, and that's for fuel injected trucks, which this one's fuel injected, because it'll slosh around in there, and it won't pick it up if it isn't fuel. It'll slosh around in here. There's no, you can see there's none in this one. So that holds the fuel so that it has a steady, so that there's always fuel in that little bowl, and it can pull from it instead of it sloshing, and it will cause the pump to go dry since it's not off of it doesn't pull off vacuum like one of the mechanical ones. I actually have one of these laying in my yard. I'm gonna go look at it. I bought an old, bought like a 52 Chevy pickup. Came with two 6.5 diesels and TH 400s, or no, 408Es. So I sold the motors. I got the truck still, but it also came with a gas tank. So I'll go check it out over here and see if that one has it. But I'll have to, let me bring a hammer and a screwdriver while I'm at it. Oh, and how you get these off, there's a little lock ring. You just beat on it with a hammer and a screwdriver, spin it, and then it'll pour it up. The sending unit's probably fine too. Shake that. Close. That's diesel actually. Dang. This ain't gonna work. So I guess I'll order myself a gas tank, because
I don't really feel like pulling that again, and I mean it will still work, but there's no sense in putting something in there that could give me issues in the future. So I'll get this one buttoned back up, and then I'll order a gas can or a gas tank for it. I'm impatient, and I'm never gonna run this truck like anywhere that I'll be real low on fuel or anything. I'm just gonna take it to the beach once in a while. I'm just gonna run that tank. I don't feel like waiting on a tank, and honestly, the baffles on the aftermarket ones I don't think are like as good as the original. So I think I'm just gonna send this one and see how it goes. If I have an issue with it, whatever, I'll just drop the tank again and replace it, but I think I'll be fine for the most part. So let's get this thing up in there. We'll get let's see what we got here. We'll get the I don't know why he left the plastic on it. There's ice in there, so there's probably water in there. So maybe I'll suck it out with the vacuum real quick before we install it, and we'll get it installed, and that'll be it. It'll be quick and easy getting it in, I hope. And I'm gonna use the strap, so like I was explaining before, these straps, for whatever reason, they decided, whoever installed it last, I don't know if it was I better double check before I talk anything. That's the way I would have done it. They're the same length and everything. And then you can bolt the damn thing on that side. So I don't know, I guess it came from factory like that, but to me that doesn't really make sense. Because you can't get to the damn bolts and the nuts. So that's what I'll do. I'll stick that in that way, and that way I can get, I mean, you can easily get to the bolts back here then, which is so simple. It like doesn't make sense why they would do it any other way. Yep, I'm gonna suck this thing out, and then we'll get the tank up in there. Seal was all cracked, so I have one laying around from another project, luckily. And so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna put this back on, real simple. I'll zoom in so you can see. But basically, you have your seal, you put it on, you put the sending unit in, and then you'll have this ring that slides right in. It's just a lock ring. And you just take a hammer, a screwdriver, tap it. Just give it a little tappy. And then once it hits, it'll lock in and it seals it. I painted this just because it was rusty and I figured what the heck. Right? I was thinking about painting the whole tank, but there's no sense in it, honestly. Maybe I'll paint the bottom just so you can't really see it and it's just black. So we'll get this tank up in there. Maybe I'll lift the truck up a little higher. If it will go, that might be it. That might be the max actually. But I was gonna see if I could get the what's it called on there? My jacks. I think I get my jacks underneath, and then that could hold the tank up for me while I hook everything up and the straps up. Alright, so I'll get the tank straps in there. Let's see what we got here. So, to me, this is what I was explaining before. See, it has this hook here. So they had them hooked on the other side, and you can't really get to the bolts that way. So I am just going to run the bolts on this side, so you can get to it. It's actually extremely easy to get to them. So I don't know if that was the way it was from the factory or if someone already replaced these tanks once, but it just doesn't really make much sense to me. So I'll get these hanging in there. There's probably a reason they did that, and then when I do this way, it's not gonna work or something. But it's worth a try, right? Got it up there for the most part. So this is what I was talking about with the straps. You can easily get to these, which I don't understand why. And it seems like the factory did that, but I don't know why they would do it from the back. I mean, I guess they put the gas tank on before the bumper, but now I'm gonna try to fight this skid pan up there. It's not necessary, I don't need it, but whatever, I got it. I figure I might as well use it. Say if I was backing a trailer up or something, I could puncture or backing up to a trailer or something, I could puncture the gas tank, I guess, if I was really sending it. And if you get rear-ended, I guess, it could puncture the fuel tank. So it's a little added protection, but it's not necessary really. So if I can't get it up there, I'm not gonna use it. It'd be easy if I pulled this hitch off to get it, but it's just really tight without that, or with that in the way. Let's see. Problem is, I got it like flat. Oh yeah, I think I got it. Pretty sure I got it. So that's good. That's easy enough. Alright, I'll finish tightening the nuts back here. Use my air ratchet because it broke my junk. I don't know, it's tack like it's junk. It worked good for what I needed for a while, but gave it too much torques, and the whole head split. Maybe they'll send me a new one. I don't know. Probably not. It's from Amazon. It was like $40. Had it for about a year. Gotten good use out of it, but it's just frustrating. So we'll get the rest of this bolted in, and then we'll go up in the cab, and we'll hook up all the fittings. So let's see. It's just those three, so it'll be 3 bolts. One here, 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 and then vice versa on the back side. One here, here, and here. So I'll get those up there. The skid pan will be attached, and we'll be one step closer. We'll get some fuel. If I have time, we'll get fuel in here and a good battery. I'll change the oil real quick while it's up here, and we'll see if we get this thing to start. We'll drain the oil on this. I'm guessing, I don't know, it kind of looks like the rear main seal's leaking on this, but I'm not worried about it. If anything, it will lubricate and or coat and keep this thing from rusting. Alright. other side so I don't get covered in oil. Hopefully there's oil in it. I see some coming. That's good. There's oil in it. Let that drain. I don't know if you can see, it doesn't look bad. It's definitely old. And watery feeling. So it's not real, it's real old. But I think he's got I think he's got a filter in the truck for this thing, so I'll throw that on there for now. I'm not a big fan. I like Wix stuff, but you know, if it's free, it's for me. That's how I always say. So I'm gonna hop up, climb up in the truck, and grab that, and let this thing drain. Let's see if we just. So I found the filter up there. Oh dang. It's loose now. This didn't really get covered in oil too bad, so that's good. She's ready for some oil to be put in. You got some Earl in the truck, so I wonder if there's dates on this thing. Just out of curiosity. I usually would run just 1540 in this thing, just Rotella shell, I guess T4 or something like that, because it's cheap and it works. I don't see a date on this, but I was just curious how long this was sitting in there. It's not really an old bottle, so I don't know. Maybe he's gonna fix this thing up. Tried to vacuum as much as I could. All right, we'll add the Earl. I'll probably crank. I won't put a battery to this and crank it up right now. I'm going to end up just putting a breaker bar on the crank and just to turn it over a few times, because I don't know how long this thing's sat. So that way we can just play it safe. And then that way nothing breaks inside, hopefully, and this thing will, once it runs, it'll run good. I found a piece of paper inside this that said it had 180 something thousand miles, I think is what it was. There was like a for sale piece of paper, and it had listed everything that was done. It's got like a 2.5 inch Pro Comp lift in it, and there was other random things. I think a newer alternator, a few other things. But I figured I should just wait. Definitely don't crank it over right away, and just do it by hand. And that way we don't break anything, because I don't know how long this thing sat. A woman said that he bought it like a little more than 10 years ago, and then it's sat ever since. So it's probably what saved it, because this thing, I mean, the rockers are gone. Well, on one side, the other side's not terrible, but this thing's actually really clean for the year and everything. These things, I mean, these Blazers, man, they rot out so fast, it's crazy. I mean, just like even worse than all the other square bodies because the rear floor goes in them, and there's no rear wheel well really, so it just all that salt and mud and everything gets caked up against the floor, and they just rot out. But we'll finish getting all the oil in there and start moving on to the next thing. Got to hook up those lines still inside the cab, and then that's it really. Then we can turn it over and then throw a hot battery on it and send her. Alrighty, so now that I have the oil in there, I didn't pull plugs or anything. I'm just going to try to crank it over by hand a little bit with the plugs in, because I mean, if it's too hard to do, then I will pull the plugs. But I'm just going to crank this thing over by hand with a breaker bar, and I think it's a 5/8 socket. So let's get to it. Alright, and we'll just crank this thing over. See if it'll spin. Probably gonna need to replace all these belts. They're sounding pretty crusty. Alright, so she's free, and hopefully that moves some of that stuff around. I should probably run a little bit of transmission fluid or something in the oil for now to like try to clean up the inside, but we'll maybe we'll get around to that after. Alright, I got it figured out. It ended up being I tore the hose a little bit, so I just had to bang it down from that side over here just to make up for the difference, and now it's not leaking, so we'll fill it up. And it's nice to keep, I like to have all these old tanks around, because those new ones are a pain in the ass. You gotta like, those safety cans, you end up spill way more fuel than you even get in the truck, so I like using these old things, and it works good for if you run out of gas. Alrighty, so we're gonna give it a start, see if we can get it running or not. I don't know. Alright, so here we go. It looks like the setting unit's working. Hopefully I got enough fuel in there where she'll start. Let's see what we can get going here. Might need to give her some of that juice. Oh boy. She's gonna go. I hear some like valve train noise. I don't know if that oil pressure gauge is just not working or it ain't coming up. Oh, there you go. Got some oil pressure now, buddy. Looking pretty good.
Goodness gracious. This old rat fur or something. What the hell? Nest in the dam. All over the place. This is nothing. Bird shit everywhere. Running. I'll probably dump some carb cleaner or something in there and try to clean the thing. See what we got here. probably bring it out front, wash it, buff it, get this shine back, get some 33-inch tires or replace these old dry rotted 32s, and should be in pretty good shape. I'm gonna also have this thing blasted, and then I'll just spray the whole thing with some shiny gloss tractor paint. Pretty good shape. Gotta get all new window seals. Alright, we're gonna take her around front so we can wash her up. See how she's, look at that. Hot dang. She's running great. Alright. See if I can't run anything over. Oh, can't see anything out of there. Need to fix that dang window, huh? The brakes seem to be working. Yeah, no windows work, that's right. Come on, man. Nothing power works. What in the hell? Can't roll the dang window down. I'm gonna put a little more fuel in it real quick. I'm pretty good. Blowing out a hole. Oh boy. Blowing a rat's nest out of there. Oh my goodness. Alternator's working. Look at all that shit. Keep it going, baby. Keep going. Oh, come on. Got this stupid shit on. Yeah, that helps. No. So, I mean, that'll help smooth it out. Oh, boy. She's quiet as can be, though. It sounded real quiet, at least. Let's give her another go. Let's try to get her to idle good. Look at that. Goodness gracious. Look at this all rat fur or something. I don't know what the hell. Nest in the damn. All over the place. This was home to many critters because there's bird shit everywhere. Got the mice living underneath. Well, she's running. I'll probably dump some carb cleaner or something in there, try to clean the thing out, maybe some seafoam. I guess the rats only made some junk shot out, but not really. Looks like the rat's nest is only on the driver's side. She runs. That's huge. I'll probably just throw plugs, wires,
cap rotor on this thing, and should be pretty good. The motor actually sounded real nice, quiet, real quiet. So that's huge. Burned some oil, I guess, but she's definitely a runner. I'm excited now. Now I could drive the dang thing out front to go wash it. Heck yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't check to see if it went in the gear. Let's do that. Make sure she'll move. So that'd be important. Let's see what we got here. Tires are spinning. Let's make sure we got reverse too. See, the brakes stopped. Brakes are working. Got reverse. Probably got a vacuum leak or something with all that junk underneath. Come on. Yeah, I could probably get away with just turning the idle up for a little bit just to get it working good. Sweet. It's huge. Really excited. Then all I gotta do, I'll probably bring it out front, wash it, buff it, and get this shine back. And get some 33-inch tires to replace these old dry rotted 32s, and should be in pretty good shape. I'm gonna also have this thing blasted, and then I'll just spray the whole thing with some shiny gloss tractor paint. It should be in pretty good shape. I gotta get all new window seals, which I'm not all that worried about it right now. And then I was messing with this door also. I mean the rear door and window, because that's locked up. I ordered a new cable for it. There's the old one, and that thing was seized up. And then I'm working on. I'm gonna pull these apart and see if I get them working properly. It seems like it's on its last life. It's all binding up and everything. Also, this is also, which now it's got all rat or mouse poop all over it. That's all right. So I'll work on getting those unlocked, and then hopefully I won't have to buy new ones, and we can get this back window rolled down and open that back tailgate. But yeah, here we go. She'll be ready to cruise this summer. Hey guys, I hope you liked this episode of Holloway's Garage. We got this thing running, driving,
and cleaned up a little bit. I'm gonna probably buff her out maybe later today or something, get her to shine real nice. And we got this one back on the road. I'll probably do some more work to this thing before all is done with the videos. So I'll have a little playlist of just this K5 on here. But hopefully those new parts will come for that C10 soon. Just need the lifters and the head gasket, and we can get the LS swap on the roll and on the move and rolling. And then see if we can't do a couple burnouts of that thing. But thanks for tuning in. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment if you guys have any questions, or you guys want to see something in particular on one of these trucks. I pretty much have all square bodies. I have a couple of 67 and 73, or I mean 67 and 72 pickups, so CSTs, and then my international build is going to be underway once I get this LS swap moving and out of the garage. So just feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and appreciate you watching. Thanks.